Hey, welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you're doing well. Today I thought I'd be completely honest with you guys and tell you the story of when I was scammed out of a Rolex watch that I owned. It was a pretty tough time for me, and it's hard to admit that you made a mistake, but I'd rather tell you guys about the mistakes I made, have you guys learn from me, and hopefully have this never happen to you in your watch collecting futures. So before we get into that, if you wouldn't mind giving us a thumbs up, subscribing if you already haven't, and commenting any tips you have about not getting scammed, or tell us a story about when you did get scammed. I'm sure we all would love to learn from your mistakes, learn from my mistakes, and have a big conversation about it. So this was early on in my collecting years. I had purchased a Rolex Oyster Perpetual reference 6565. It was an absolutely beautiful watch. It had a beautiful cream dial and an engine turn bezel. It was really a great watch and I loved it a lot, but decided to get rid of it. Decided I wanted to sell it because I wanted to buy something else. So at that time I didn't have a website and I didn't really know much about the watch collecting world. So I was selling it on eBay, which of course you're gonna say, probably a bad idea to sell on eBay. That's your number one problem. It's true, eBay is full with has a lot of problems, but it also has some good parts to it too. So I listed on eBay, I got a few offers, but this guy gave me a really great offer and we came to a deal. I then, sent him a message on eBay saying, once I receive payment, then I'll send it out, and he asked me if he could do a wire transfer. Now, I had never done a wire transfer before. It was the first time that I had exposure to anything like that. So I did what I thought was smart, and I contacted my bank and I said, what information am I supposed to provide and how does this all work? So they told me about the information I had to provide them. They said, once you receive the money, that's it, he can't touch it after that. So I said, wow, that seems pretty safe, let's go ahead and do that. So I sent him my wired details so that he could wire the money to me, and within the next 4 or 5 hours, I had the money. It cleared into my account, and it had this little receipt that was attached to it. And that was my first mistake. I should have called the bank, asked them if it was in fact a wire transfer that went through. I should have contacted them a second time, but I didn't, and that's obviously something I've learned from. So with the money, I said, okay, great, let me ship it out to you. So I shipped it out, and that was it. He had the watch. I was happy with the money, and I was looking for my next watch to buy. Then about 30 days later, I noticed that my account went down by the exact amount that the watch was purchased for. And I was like, great, I think I just got scammed. I don't know how that happened. So I went into my account, I saw that it was taken out, and I freaked out. So I called the bank and said, hey, there was a wire transfer done and the money's gone. They ended up telling me that it was actually just a check that was deposited into my account for the amount that the guy purchased the watch for. They also told me that the checks that the gentleman used were actually not his. He had stolen them from another individual and used the check to purchase a bunch of stuff. So the original owner of the check freaked out, obviously got with his bank, realized it was all fraud, and they got the money back for him, which is great for that individual, but I felt like I lost out hugely because I didn't have the watch, I didn't have the money. So I tried to contact the buyer, but he was already off of eBay. I tried to figure out his address. I was thinking about doing things with the police, but in the end, you can't really do much about it. I thought that I had a case, perhaps to go to court with it, but I dealt with the person who was committing fraud, which makes me the irresponsible party. So I didn't end up getting my money back or getting the watch back. So I think the biggest lessons you learn is make sure you understand the transaction, make sure you trust the person who you are selling the watch to, and be very, very careful with eBay and offers that seem too good to be true, because the offer that I got was really, really great. And yeah, it ended up hurting me, but you know what? It was a way in which I learned about what I needed to do when I was buying watches, and I haven't made the same mistake twice, which is what learning is about, right? So comment below, let me know about the stories that you guys have about if you've ever dealt with issues like this. It sucks, but it's part of life, and you end up learning from it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't subscribe when I said it earlier in the beginning, subscribe, like, comment, do all that jazz so we can hit that YouTube algorithm. And I hope you guys have a nice rest of your day.